They are 2-7 in the division. They'll be playing host to the Green River Gators, who are 10-10 overall and 4-5. This is a very important game for Green River because they still have a chance at eking their way into the NWAC playoffs. They are within range. They're not in that top 4 teams. They're just on the cusp, just on the outside. So this game means something for Green River, and I think that's very important for them and for the obstacle in the path for Green River. And Wade, you know, these two teams have played before, and it actually was a pretty close game. Green River won it by a score of 54-40, and this time around, Centralia will try and, well, they'll try and knock off Green River. Some keys to the game for Green River: they've got a couple superstars, Devin Willis, one of their starters, and also Derek Eilertson. Willis out of Bothell and Eilertson out of Thomas Jefferson. And they scored in double digits against Centralia the first time around. Certainly, Green River's going to want to use them, but they're going to want to share the love around.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Centralia is really young. They have 2 sophomores, the rest are freshmen, and they've matured over the season. So they've played a number of games now. We're in the second half. Maybe they've matured a little bit more during the time from when they first played them, and we'll see how they do on the court tonight.
Green River, not an especially good rebounding team, and they will want to make sure that they get some boards. For Centralia, they have to take good shots. The first time against Green River, they shot only 22% from the floor, only 11% from 3, and cut down on turnovers. They had quite a few. Starting lineups first for Centralia, they'll go with Van Lockett out of LaGrange, Louisiana, Chris Voss out of Anchorage Christian, Jordan Dam out of Wilson, Mo and Miles Wagner, both from Texas. For Green River, it's going to be Devin Willis from Bothell, Chris Ploy out of Anchorage, Eilerton and Lanier from Thomas Jefferson, and Shaq Piper. Here's the jump ball. It's easily won by Centralia as Lockett will control the ball for the Blazers in the back. He moves into front court. He's guarded by Lanier. Couple crossovers. Here's a pass over to Jordan Dam on the left side. Dam looking for somebody open, finds Chris Voss at the top of the key. He's guarded by Willis. Now over to Lockett. They'll cross over, back, spin around from the right elbow, gives it to Voss, baseline. He's double teamed, looking for somebody, passes it outside to Mo. 2 to shoot for Centralia. It's going to be a shot clock violation.
Not how you really want to start off the game. So I think Centralia, trying to get that extra pass in, but you watching the offense in that first set, a lot of players standing around there.
Sure, some shutdown defense, so got to give credit to Green River, as credit is due. Here's Ploy with the ball, gives it to Willis. Over to Lanier, back to Willis. He'll drive, spin, put it back outside. Ploy. Over in the corner they go to Eilerton, and he makes the shot. 2-0, the lead for Green River. Eilerton, one of the top scorers for Green River. Dam moves hard toward the left, stops on the left side, gives it up top to Lockett. Lockett a couple games ago, 32 points under his belt. He can't score in bunches. And he's the top scorer for the Blazers. Finds Voss down low, but he finds him a little late. Voss was open for about a second, and that's that time frame you need. I think Voss would have been able to get the ball, spin around, and shoot an open shot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can't think about it. You just got to do it.
Here's Ploy, barrels into Wagner. Outside they go to Lanier. 3-point shot is missed, and Lockett will bring the ball up the floor for the Blazers. 2-0, Green River with the lead, 18-15 to go in the first half. Here's Dam. He's guarded closely by Lanier. Rolls off of a screen. He's picked up by Eilerton. Gives it off to one Wagner, over to the other. That's Mo off the backboard and in. Evens the game at 2.
Bodies his way in, gets that shot off.
Now Mo's not nearly as sturdy, as broad-shouldered as Miles, but he's still got a lot of body. As that ball batted away, Dam with the ball for Centralia. Difference between the men's and the women's uniforms. The men have the blue and white stripes on the side, the women do not. How's that for an observation?
That's good, because you don't want to put on the wrong uniform.
And that's why they did it, of course.
Yeah.
As Lockett, a little bit out of control, goes out of bounds with the basketball, but it was last touched by the Gators.
See the same number as your uniform, and you put it on and find out it's not your uniform.
That would be embarrassing. Here's a bounce pass to Voss. He'll move toward the free throw line, kick it out toward the right. Here's Lockett. Will go off of a sort of a passive screen set by Voss. 8 to shoot, 7 for the Blazers. Long three-point shot off the front of the iron. Mo gets the rebound, a little hop, and off the backboard and in. That was a good play by Mo.
Yeah, very good play by him.
4 to 2, Centralia with the lead. Hand off to Lanier. Gives it up top to Willis. And a spin around nobody. Here's Lanier.
Look good, though.
Usually you spin around somebody.
Yeah, he's warming up for later in the game.
We got a 30-second timeout taken by Green River.
And already.
Yeah, 4 to 2, the Blazers with the 2-point lead. And I think when we did the women's game, 4 to 2, it was already about 10 minutes into the game.
I think you're right.
No scoring the first half, all scoring the second half for Centralia. Here in the men's game, you know, we got a little bit more going on. And considering both teams shot, you know, Centralia, what, 22% the first time they played Green River, and Green River didn't do a whole lot better. You know, they got to be pretty satisfied at least to have 4 points on the board right now and an early lead.
Yeah, you got to think that this late in the season they're starting to, you know their shots and pretty comfortable with the shots that they're taking.
So Gator ball from underneath their basket. Gators in the dark uniforms. Willis throws it to Lockett, who picks that one off. It's a 4-on-1. Lockett goes in hard, and he's fouled.
Really hard. You might think that would be an intentional foul. But, you know, in Green River's defense, you want to let people know you're not just going to ride up and score easily. It's going to be a tough time for you if you think about coming into the middle of the lane. Centralia should be doing that too.
Yeah, that's no Queensbury rules here. This is aggressive basketball. Physical, as that first free throw is made by Lockett, 5 to 2. Centralia with the 3-point lead. Here's the second, and that's in. So 4-point advantage for the Blazers early on. Willis up top to Ploy. Ploy, the top shooter for the Blazers, or for the Gators, I should say. Double teamed, back to Lanier. Lanier over to Willis. Willis will take a long jump shot off the back of the iron. Lockett with a pretty rebound for Centralia. Centralia running a slower paced game than Green River. Lockett to the right. Jordan comes to accept the pass from Lockett, goes toward the baseline, spins around the defender, off the glass and in. He went right around Lanier with that play. Great job by Jordan Dam. Here's a dump pass down low to Willis. Guarded by Voss. Turn around in Voss's face. Bangs into Voss. Turn around again. Tries to go up for it. Dam comes through and hammers him on the arm. That's unfortunate because I don't think he makes that shot. He was in a weird position.
Yeah, exactly, and they fouled him hard too. Though I think they're just getting a little payback from that last trip down the court, or actually a couple baskets. Yeah, exactly. Let them know that that's not going to be easy for you.
We see right in front of us, standing in front of us, with a tattoo on the arm for Mo, Texas. That's where he's from. You know, I love Washington. I'm not sure I'd get a tattoo that says Washington.
He's got 2-4 on the back of his calves, too, his number out there.
Man, what happens if you go to a team and they already have that?
I was thinking it, maybe you get 4-2.
You're paying money to whoever has it to swap jersey numbers.
Yeah.
Here's the free throw, and that's good. So Centralia with a small lead, 15:55 to go in the first half. Lockett's going to go in hard, scoop shot, no good. That's going to be an offensive foul on Lockett.
Green River player first. Able to set his feet on that and take the charge.
So it looks like in for Green River is Emmanuel Carter, and Shaq taking a seat. Here's Ploy. That was Carter just into the game. Bounce pass up to Willis on the left elbow, guarded by Dam. A little shuffle pass onto the baseline to Eilerton. And looks like they had an off-ball foul. That was on Emmanuel Carter. 5'9" freshman out of Voss. So Voss will toss it in for Centralia. Gives it to Lockett. Over to Miles into front court to Dam. Here's to Lockett. And they're running Blazer. So we could hear it into our earpiece. Here's Dam with the ball. Moves toward the left. Gives to Mo, and that time he ran hard into Green River. And Chris Ploy out of Anchorage taking that charge. That's the second charge Centralia has been, well, charged with.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he expected the player to recover that quick and get in front of him and set his feet as fast as he did.
Here's a three-point shot taken off the front of the iron. That one missed. And right back Ploy, and that's why he's their top scorer. Right now, full court on Centralia. Lockett dribbles out of it. 8-6 Centralia with the 2-point lead. Calling out the plays. Here's Dam. Guarded by Green River very closely. Goes to Voss. Over to Wagner. Over in the corner to Lockett. He can shoot the three. That one rims out. Out of bounds.
So he had the right idea on that last play, just not able to get that ball to sink.
Now we got Brent Graybeal coming into the game, and we'll see if his height can help. You can tell Graybeal 6'5". He's got some height. Here's Wagner, goes up strong, body to body with Chris Ploy. He makes that shot 10-6. Here's Ploy, hard the other way off the side of the iron, tipped. That time by Willis, but the shot doesn't go in. And Lockett pulls the ball back. He wants to go up the court a little bit slower.
Almost an offensive touch on, illegal offensive touch the last time.
Here's Dam, rolls off of a huge screen. That was kind of a moving screen, and that pass intended down low for Wagner and off of Miles' hands. Miles got bumped. In football, that would have been pass interference before the ball got there.
We didn't see any flag come out, though.
Well, we've dropped a soccer reference tonight and a football one. There's a screen, but he's picked up by Mo. Here's Carter, gives it off to Ploy, off the glass and in. Good play by, a nice pass and the finish that time. So Carter with the nice pass and Ploy with the good bucket. Here's Miles to Lockett. Lockett's gonna go up ahead. He's fearless when he goes to the basket, puts that off the glass in. I'd be afraid of coming down hard and blowing out a knee or something.
Yeah.
Willis gives it up top to Graybeal. Here's a long jumper by Ploy off the mark. Brought in by Mo. And Lockett will bring the ball up ever so slowly for Centralia. 12:53 to go in the first half. 12-8. Centralia with the 4-point lead. Voss with the ball top of the key, fronted by Ploy. Over in the corner they go to Dam. That ball's no good, and that was right in the hands of Miles. And then off his hands, last touched, however, by Green River.
Looked like a pass almost instead of a shot there.
He would have had at least a chance to go back up strong. That's what I'd do if I was his size.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lockett having to look underneath the defender as Graybeal has such long arms. And we see on the other end, Eilertson out of Thomas Jefferson, one of Lanier's teammates. Nice little shot. Centralia with the 2-point lead. Here's Lockett to Voss. Voss fronted by Eilertson. Gives it to Dam. Dam will spin, give it to Lockett. Back outside to Dam. Rolls around the defender who tries to grab him. Instead, back to Lockett.
7
seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds to shoot. Little fall away jumper, no good. And Centralia waiting too long to shoot the basketball. That's where they end up forcing a shot. And Arnis getting ready to check in for Centralia. Also getting ready to check in, Gunnar Farstad. Here's Eilertson. Up top, and a three-point shot taken and made by Kevin McCrossan just into the game. A 6'4" freshman out of Fife, giving Green River the lead. Here's Voss, kicks it outside to Mo, to Dam. Touch pass over to Lockett, 21 to shoot. We've seen a lot less for Centralia tonight. Here's Voss, goes in hard to the hole, misses the shot, and Mo comes up with that one and back in.
It's like
that's using your body.
Yeah, look, everybody parted, kind of like the Red Sea, and there the ball was.
And there it was.
There it was.
Here's Eilertson to Graybiel, and Mo picks that one, but right to number 44, Kevin McCrossan. So Carter with the basketball, 14 to shoot for the Gators. Gives it to Eilertson. Three-point shot taken by McCrossan, and he hits it from the right wing. 16-14. Lockett looking for somebody open. He'll find Dam. Back to Lockett. And they're going to change the shot clock. They're going to change it a whole second.
You know, you mentioned earlier that Centralia brought that shot clock down a little bit too far. We saw that early in the last game that we did on air. There was a number of times they brought it way down and were forced to take some bad shots.
So here's Lockett, gives it to Farstad. He'll roll up toward the top. Head fake to Arnis. From the right elbow, kicks it back over on the left wing to Farstad. To Mo, bangs into the defender, outside. Touch pass from the corner to Lockett, 11 to shoot. Down to Miles, wide open look. It looked like he gave one bump to his defender who went flying back into the back.
Found a clear path to the basket.
So here's McCrossan, who's already hit a couple. Three-point shot taken and hit by Derek Eilertson. Man, the Gators are shooting the three-pointer tonight. 19-16 the score. Green River with the lead. Centralia took a lot of three-point shots the first time around when these two clubs met and only hit 11% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the total number of percentage was pretty bad.
And a wide open lane for Carter. Boy, you could see that from the top of the perimeter that he was going to the rack and nobody closed that gap.
No. So we have a timeout from Centralia.
Yeah, we got a full timeout. And a lot of stuff going on here in the Twin Cities, especially with Centralia College. They even have a salsa class coming up, free salsa class. All kinds of things going on at Centralia College. Not only just basketball on the court, but Centralia seems to be doing a lot of good things these days, and hopefully between the first and second half, we'll try and get somebody on for Centralia that maybe we could talk to about some of the things going on at Centralia that are working well.
Yeah, we'll try to get the president, El Presidente, and you'll
if we can get El Presidente, then that's top notch. Yeah,
you'll be doing that interview. You can ask him all about those things coming up here. But yeah, our student government and student life programs, they're very active, bringing a lot of speakers in, a lot of comedians. They have open mic. I know our musical is going to be opening here in about a week or two.
You're going to do a cameo on the
open mic? No, I think
or the comedian?
Yeah, I'll stay away from that for now. I got to teach class the next day. They'll be heckling me in class if I did that.
Yeah. I don't know how
Not
to tell you
that they don't already.
I was going to say they're probably heckling you no matter what, but we digress.
Yes.
So, we'll keep that on our mind, and we can ask El Presidente if we're so fortunate to get him. And it's always good to have the president, talk in a forum where the whole community can hear some of his ideas and what's going well and maybe not so well that they're looking to improve. Full court press right now. Up ahead to Lockett. And he tries for the alley-oop. Hey, it didn't turn out the way I'm sure he hoped, but it turned out with a bucket, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
So 21-18, Centralia still down by 3. And that one almost came down on Anthony Brescia into the game, but Brescia able to bring the body down, go back up strong, and put it off the glass and in. Here's Farstad to Lockett. Over to Arnis, who will shoot the three-point shot. Left wing, and he hits the ball.
That was a pretty shot by him.
Hits the bucket. 23-21. Blazers down by 2. Looks like We also have Bryce Phillip for Green River into the game. So here's Shack, gives it off to Bryce Phillip, who makes the basket. Farstead into front court for Centralia. Bounce pass intended for Wagner to Miles, and it's batted out of bounds. Last touch by Green River.
Had a good idea on the play, just wasn't able to execute that. You know, running McCrossan for Green River, he's out of Fife, and the old athletic director there was a guy named John McCrossan. I wonder if that's his dad. Could be.
You're not lying to us either.
No, seriously, yeah. I used to do Tacoma League games that he was a coach at Lincoln at one time.
And you've done just about everything. Pretty pass from Arnis, touch pass to Miles, and that one's off the glass and in. I'm glad Miles was able to get that off. It looked like, again, he was kind of struggling gathering control of the ball.
Miles is having a good game tonight.
Phillip asking for that, and right as Phillip turns around coming through, it was Farstad to reach in and grab the basketball. Jordan Dam comes in, Mo comes out, and coming out for Green River, it's Brescia, and right back in Chris Ploy. Willis trying to find somebody. Now up top, that's Shack. Not the same size as the Shack.
A little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. Ploy to Carter. Here's Willis. Gives it to McCrossan. Willis comes hard to the hole, misses the shot. Lockett. Bounce pass to Arnis. Thought he was going to shoot the three-point again. And that time I think he was going to Farstad.
Yeah, he was. So, you know, Lockett, I hate to compare players to pro players, but Lockett reminds me of kind of an Allen Iverson. He's a little bit shorter, but he's fearless.
Shorter.
5'10".
Pretty sweet dreads.
Yeah. Good ball handler.
Chris Ploy, 15 points a game for the Gators. You got to look out for him. And that time it looked like Willis was trying to get a little too fancy with the pass.
We see that happen a lot in these games because I think sometimes players aren't just used to their teammates, what they're going to do, or they're bailing themselves out by throwing the ball.
Here's Lockett. I just don't want to call him the answer, though. Over to Arnis on the right wing. Arnis looking up top for somebody to come up. It's Farstad. Dump pass down low, and I think he forced that one.
Yeah.
Miles back outside to Arnis, and they're going to call off-ball foul. Is that going to be on Phillip? It is on Bryce Phillip.
Okay.
Out of Portland, Oregon. And Arnis will toss it in from underneath the hoop. 6:38 to go in the first half. Green River still with a 2-point lead. It's been the same score for a while now. Here's Lockett. Had the open opportunity. It went off the rim and then coming through. Looked like Miles ended up tipping it in. And Tim Malroy, the head coach for Green River, didn't like that play.
Miles is having a great game tonight. I haven't seen him play with this much tenacity.
I think he was saying it was in the cylinder still when he tipped it in. It was in that.
Yeah.
He wanted that one called. Here's Arnis getting bodied. Farstad down low to Miles, off the glass and in. And I'm telling you what, 27-25, Centralia with the 2-point lead. Green River's going to have to find a way to stop him.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles Wagner.
He is having an outstanding game. Like I was just mentioning a couple minutes ago, I haven't seen him play with this much tenacity, and he's just a spark plug for Centralia tonight, just kind of taking things over. And you want to keep going to him, then they can stop him.
Well, he's averaging just a little more than 5 points a game.
Right.
He's already passed that. If you look at season totals, he does shoot 53% from the floor.
Yeah.
And we've seen, like a lot of big guys, but we've seen him struggle with the ball handling. But man, when he has the ball, he's got the body, he's got the size, and going up strong off the backboard is what he uses quite often.
I mentioned this last week that I think this is just his really second year of organized basketball. He played his senior year, and they were really recruiting his brother, and there was kind of an agreement, from what I understand, that he would come here if his brother would come too.
Well, Mo's no Shab himself, But you look at the two, and they're both very tall.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at just the size difference, and it's startling how big that Miles Wagner is. 6'7" for Miles, 6'6" for Mo.
But that weight, you can tell there's a weight difference there.
Man, it's like a freight train. So here is Willis, gives it off, and another three-point shot taken and made by McCrossan. Here's Lockett. Blazers down by 1, 5:50, and this is an exciting first half of basketball. Farstad up to Dam. Over in the corner they go to Arnis. The three-point shot taken from the left corner. You could tell that one was going to be off. Rebounded by Willis. Willis, another three-pointer taken by Green River. Missed. Dam rebound. Here's Lockett. Dam spins around. Over to Lockett. Farstad, touch pass over to Dam, fronted very closely by Shaq. Arnis to Lockett on the right wing. 15 on the shot clock. Down low to Miles one more time, just over the head of Ploy. Ploy cannot guard him.
I'm wondering if Centralia saw something on film with taller teams and what they did to Green River.
Well, we mentioned one of the keys to the game, Green River not an especially good rebounding team.
Mm-hmm.
So they have problems down low setting up. Here's a rebound, that time by Miles, who shakes it off as it was hit out of his hand. Blazers by 1, 4:42. Here's Lockett to Farstad. He'll stop, step back to Arnis. One dribble to Lockett. Up top to Dam. Looks to the left, cuts to the right to Lockett. Thought he was going to shuffle that foot. Arnis, touch pass outside to Farstad. Had an open look, didn't take it.
Here's 7 seconds.
6 to shoot. Arnis is going to have to force this into the baseline. Tries to go outside, has it stolen. I thought Farstad had the shot there. That was their best opportunity. When you take that, when you don't take that, you have to force it. Here's a head fake. Arnis doesn't bite, but a nice shot that time over the top, and that's Eilertson's height, the 6'5" sophomore out of Thomas Jefferson High School. Speak of height, Centralia getting ready to put in a little more of their own. Farstad, he's going to go in toward the lane. Puts it back outside the Lockett. Arnis, bounce pass to Dam. Back up type to Farstad. Head fake, dribble to Arnis.
10 seconds.
Here's Lockett, 9 to shoot for Centralia. Here's a cross. Arnis to Dam. Dam's gonna have to force that one up, and he hits it! Oh my goodness, right in the face of Chris Ploy. That was a prayer right there.
So really a bailed out shot there.
Ploy comes through the other direction. Dam holds his ground, offensive foul.
So good series there for Centralia. Although they ran that clock down a little bit too far again, but they were bailed out with that nice three-point shot. That was a long three-pointer too.
Looks like Miles coming out. Shula has gone in for Centralia. Also, Arnis comes out and takes a seat, and I'm missing whoever came in. Miles went back in. Miles and Shula, Mo and Shula. Mo and Shula back in. Miles.
Man, I'd keep Miles in there. Well, there's 3 minutes left in the first half. Give him a rest.
He's a big
now.
guy, man. Big guys need rest.
Yeah.
Here's Lockett. That one was stolen. That was just bad ball control.
Yeah, try to force it.
And that time it looked like a forced pass, that time by Eilertson. And you could see on his face, Eilertson disappointed with the pass. Here's Shula. We'll give it off and then get it back to bring it in for Centralia. Toward the end of the first half, 2:55 to go. Lockett thought about shooting. To Dam, the three-point shot taken from the left wing. And I think that would have brought the house down had he hit that. Emmanuel Carter.
Lockett playing a lot of minutes tonight too.
Over to Willis. To Ploy. Bounce pass to Eilertson. Up top to Carter. Into the lane. We'll go outside and pass that one directly to Jason Moore, the head coach of Centralia. So So Shula will toss it in. And Ploy, for a guy who's such a good shooter, doesn't really seem like a playmaker, though. Seems like the playmaker, at least for Green River, happens to be Willis. So we'll see what the Arizona is.
Yes, and they will too.
And they will too. Here's Mo. Will go into the lane. Scoop shot, and they're going to call it travel. Good idea.
It was. It's always interesting to watch a little hop, step, jump when they do that.
Yeah. And Moore having some words with the official down on the far side.
It's a very close game right now, 32-30.
32-30. Blazers by 2. 2 minutes. Whoa. Here's Willis. Gives it off to Carter. Carter spinning around. Back out to Eilertson. Up top to Willis. Or excuse me, to Carter. He pushes it down low to Ploy, and that's how Ploy gets his points. Shula goes to the left around Carter. Now dribbles to the right. There's no passing out of this. He's going one-on-one to Lockett. Over in the corner, they go to Farstad. Lockett, he's not shy. The three-point shot taken. The lefty drains it from the right wing. 35-32. Blazers by 3. That time, Lanier using the body. Looks like he was trying to bang off the defender. And they're going to call that on Centralia.
Yeah, Lockett.
On Lockett.
Just a second.
He was the recipient of.
They'll probably get him out of there and give him a little bit longer rest.
Looks like TJ McKinney getting ready to check in for Centralia. Here's Carter to Willis. Turnaround jump shot. Doesn't fall. Nice looking shot. Centralia, the benefactor of that one. Lockett to Dam. A fake. Back up top to Lockett. Touch pass over to Shula on the right wing, and he travels. That was a touchy call. Anytime you start looking, start leaning with your body, they're more bound to call a travel.
In a game this close, you just can't afford those little silly mistakes like that.
Here's Willis, rolls off of a Ploy screen, goes one-on-one with Mo, instead dumps it down to Ploy. Ploy puts it up, it rolls ever so slowly, falls out, and Centralia with the rebound.
We saw that last time down the court too. They had a nice looking shot, didn't go in.
Here's Farstad. Shula now with the basketball, dribbles to the left to Dam. Right down low to Miles. Boy, I would have packed that with 2 hands if I could.
Where's his defender on that? Gee, he was wide open.
I get the feeling that even some of the, I look at a guy like Willis here. Willis stands in at 6'5". He's a point guard. I get the feeling that even their big guys like playing a perimeter game. So here's Willis. Pretty pass down low, and that one Ploy just can't handle. That was a nice pass.
5 seconds left in the first half.
5.7 on the clock. Blazers are up by 5, 37-32, and they'll have the last shot. Here's Shula. He'll push it down the floor. He'll give it off to Dam. Turnaround, long three-pointer, no good. He didn't realize how much time he had. He could have set up and taken that shot.
Yeah, he could have.
But you got to look at the positives here. 37-32, Centralia with a 5-point lead going into halftime.
You know what? I mentioned this before the game that Centralia is a very young team. That you were mentioning that too. And now we're over halfway through the season that maybe they're starting to gel, getting to know each other, and especially Wagner, Mo Wagner, or Miles Wagner.
Wow.
He's having an outstanding game. I've never seen him play that well.
Yes, he is. And I think keeping him ready and out of foul trouble, at the end of the first half.
I think it's starting to click for him. Just playing out there, the repetition of playing all the games. All of a sudden, it's clicking for him, and he's showing it on the court today. It's amazing. Hey, we have Dr. James Walton coming on over here. He'll be here in a minute.
Okay.
So I'll get out of the way here and let you have a conversation with him. And I think second half, Jake King may be back to help you out there.
Sure. Absolutely. So, well, if Jake comes on, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after the game.
It was a pleasure. First time these two teams met, Green River had a big lead, but this time Centralia is in this.
Yeah.
They are trying to play the spoiler, so we'll see what happens.
And they're doing a good job of that, too.
Well, I'll move over here because the bigwig joining us today, Dr. James Walton, president of Centralia College. Go ahead and take a seat here. As long as we got the college president, you would actually be cut off because we're right here over on this camera.
Oh.
and here's us. So you've been president for 10 years?
10 years now. It's
10
amazing.
years.
It's gone by really fast.
And you started, 99 to 2000?
2002.
2002?
2012, yep.
Okay, 2002 you started as college president. And obviously Hank Kirk did a lot of good things even toward the end of his time. He wasn't trunky at the end of his time. But it's all about progress. It's all about pushing forward. What were some of the goals that you set 10 years ago? And do you feel like you've met all of those goals, most of those goals? If you've met all of those goals, have you had to set many, many more goals? What was the first thing you wanted to do coming in 10 years ago?
Well, actually, 10 years ago, I asked the faculty and staff what they really wanted to do, and so we had a whole set of objectives, and probably, boy, I think they grew up to about 100 different objectives, and it was amazing. We always have lots to do, but we had a lot of things that we thought were really important, and we've done a lot of those things, and I'm really proud of the fact that the faculty and staff have stuck together, especially through this budget crisis.
Sure.
This has been really tough, but they've pulled together. And we've got some brand new buildings on campus. One of our goals was to have the absolute most beautiful campus in the state. So we've been working on that one. Our thought is that if we've got a quality campus, it just really exemplifies what we do here: quality education, quality students, quality faculty, and students seem to respect it. So it's not like a high school campus where you might have gum on the walkways and stuff like that. It really is beautiful, and people really do appreciate it. So we're going to continue that.
You're saying that even in budget times, these tough budget times, you're still able to peel the gum off the sidewalk and make it aesthetically pleasing.
Well, we use pressure washers now.
Oh, okay. Well, as a Centralia graduate, I appreciate that, actually. Some of the new buildings or new features, the big projects that you do have, you have that huge building over by Corbett.
The Science Center.
The Science, and it is spectacular.
It is.
You turn the corner off of the main road here, off of, I guess it's Main, and you see that, and you just think, wow, they're doing something right here.
And what's really interesting is when we have people come back, excuse me, I got some popcorn in my throat. Excuse me.
You do what you got to do. So.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
No, it is amazing when people come up to the campus that haven't been here for 10 or 15, 20 years, and they look and just say, oh my goodness, because it is beautiful. And with the science building there now, they replaced the Quonset hut and the two old buildings that we had. It just looks spectacular. We have a big field now for graduation. It's all green. And we took all of those houses down across from the Science Center and across from Corbett, leveled all of that, put a brand new Kaiser Outdoor Learning Lab in there, and took China Creek and meandered China Creek. And we even had a salmon come back this year to China Creek.
No
so
kidding.
It's great.
Really?
It's amazing. So it just proves, when you work with Mother Nature, it does work with you too.
Yeah, man and fish can coexist.
That's exactly right.
Well, one of the other big improvements has been this health and wellness center. We used to affectionately call it the wooden cage because you could still see the rafters. I love how the rafters have been left here, speaking to the historical nature of this building, but you walk into the foyer and everything's just so nice now.
It is.
The size of that project, if you could speak to that, because it seemed like a big endeavor.
Well, it was a big endeavor, but really it wasn't that expensive, and we decided that instead of trying to build a new gym, we would just take advantage of what we had. And this used to be the nexus for all of the big tournaments in Southwest Washington, and it was where everybody wanted to come. And what's nice now is we've taken all those offices that were up on the second level and put the bleachers back in. We've got the windows back now, so it's actually beautiful to look up. And I bet that those rafters are all old growth timber, and we probably couldn't afford to even begin to buy those things or even find them anymore, because those were built back in 1935?
Yeah,
so those
absolutely.
It's amazing.
It was a high school gym.
It was the high school gym in 35, yep. So we decided that it was more important to maintain the heritage and to bring it back, and it's really great to hear the guys that were here in the 50s talk about playing in this gym, and people that have been around the community a long time really cherish the fact that we were able to bring it back the way it was. And so
Sure.
we're really proud of that.
Yeah, I always like when you can mix that new with the old and really show respect for the old building. So I personally am glad that this building didn't get torn down. Now, I got to say, though, a college is more than like a brick and mortar type institution. So even though you have these great establishments, you have some content to fill there. You've got a lot of professors. You've got top-notch education. Tell me a little bit, and really, I guess the community watching, what kind of academic setting this is for Centralia.
Well, if you think back, we were first under the auspices of the University of Washington back in 1925. And the Dean of School of Education used to come down here and hire all the faculty, hire all the staff, and the number one quality that he was looking for was that we have outstanding faculty and offer excellent education that would be transferable anywhere in the world. And so we've maintained that philosophy ever since. Our quality faculty is our number one goal, and we've certainly been able to attract good faculty. We've got people from Harvard, from Michigan, from all over the nation that are teaching here in Centralia. And I would say that virtually almost every student that goes on and transfers to a four-year degree, they don't have to repeat classes. I mean, they're getting that quality right here. So we're very proud of the fact that we've been able to maintain the quality, that we're noted for the quality, and that we're also noted for having a very, very friendly campus. And that's brought a lot of students here. It's brought a lot of faculty and staff here, and it's kept people here. I mean, we have people on staff that have been here for 40 years. It absolutely amazes me. And again, faculty too. We had a lot of the faculty that have been here for a very long time, and they're good. So I'm very proud of them. And this has been, like I said before, this has been a really tough time. These last 4 years, we've had huge budget cuts. We haven't had to lay any faculty off. In fact, we really haven't laid anybody off. We've just taken advantage of all of the attrition, people retiring. You know, we do have an aging faculty and staff, and so we do see retirements every year. We've been able to redistribute work. I'd say everybody's doing probably 1.5 times the work that they normally have done in the past, but because of the fact that they've been able to save jobs and we haven't laid anybody off, I think that's brought us a lot of goodwill.
Sure.
They're willing to do it, and so far it has not affected our quality. I can't say that that's going to go on forever. If we get cut again this next year, it's going to be really tough because we're down to core. I mean, we're down to everybody doing maximum amount, and so it's going to get tough if we have to go deeper. So we have to wait and see what the legislature's going to do. We have lots of support from both the D's and the R's. They like what we're doing, but there's just not that much money.
Hey,
so
I'll tell you, because of the budget, we can handle this table for a little while longer. Without spilling all the beans, what's a major project or two that the college has coming up?
Well, the most important one right now is that we're going to offer the first bachelor's degree in the history of Centralia College. It's going to be a bachelor's of applied science in management. We're hoping to have this online and ready to go for fall quarter. We're working through the process. We've hired a gentleman by the name of Larry McGee, who's an outstanding business person in the community, to kind of head this up and get it organized, get it started, develop that support in the community. It's just, it'll be a change. I mean, this is the first step in becoming a four-year college, and so not that that's something we're going to do right away, but we are committed to our community college mission. But it's kind of nice to be able to offer your own four-year degree. We do host other four-year campuses here, or four-year colleges here, and they have programs here in education and criminal justice and whatnot. But this is going to be Centralia College's first ever degree in the history of the college.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
One last question, turning it a little personal. So you're into your stint here at Centralia College, 10th year. How much longer do you plan on staying around? When do you see yourself retiring?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I think probably another year or two. We'll just have to wait and see what the budget does. What I don't want to do is just turn this over to somebody that's new, that's coming in, that doesn't know the people, doesn't know the history, doesn't have the
doesn't
same
know the
feel
struggles
for the college.
the college has even
Exactly,
gone
and
through.
what the sacrifices have been of everybody on the staff. And I think I need to stay long enough to make sure that we're in good fiscal shape and that we can move forward in a positive way, and then turn it over to somebody, just like Hank did. I think that was really important, and that helped me a lot, and I'd like to do the same thing. Okay.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us, and someday when the budget is good, I'll hit you back up for the table.
You might even put a little drape or curtain.
A drape or a curtain. Hey, we definitely appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on all the success that the college has had. Is there anything that you wish you could have done different in the last budget, aside from the budget?
Well, considering the fact that it's just been 10 years, and boy, that time goes by fast.
Doesn't it?
We have really been focused on doing some good things, and I think when we get our new college commons in, the Transalta Commons, that should be,
Oh, sure.
we should start construction of that, 2013. That will again transform the campus again. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and Centralia College is a great place. It has been for a long time. We've got kids and grandkids and great-grandkids that have all come here. Fourth generation students have come here. So we're looking forward to the next 4 generations too.
All right, thank you so
Don.
much.
Yep, thank you.
That was Dr. Jim Walton joining us here at the halftime with Centralia up by 5, 37-32. And we are getting set for second half action. The players, as you can see, out there on the floor going through their warm-up shots for the second half. Well, going over a few of the totals for the first half. Centralia up by 5 points, as mentioned, 37-32. Where did that come from? Well, Centralia shot the ball rather well, 64% from the floor in the first half. The first time these two teams met, Centralia, as mentioned, shot only 21% from the floor. So 64% from the floor for Centralia, and it's hard. It's very, very difficult to fare poorly when you're shooting 64%. The only reason it's a 5-point game, well, Green River shooting 57%, so they're not doing shabby on their end. Green River also has 4 3-pointers to go with their 57% shooting. Centralia has 3 3-pointers of their own. Leading scorer right now, we told you that Miles Wagner was doing very well. 12 points in the first half for Miles. And who's right on his heels? Well, it's Mo, his brother Mo. Mo Wagner has 10 points on 5 of 5 shooting. And Miles is listed at 6 of 6 shooting. So both of those players both have an above 50% shooting clip normally, but both upping that today. Also 7 points for Van Lockett and 5 points for Jordan Dam. For Green River, their top scorer is Derek Eilertson, who has a 3-pointer to his name, and Kevin McCrossan, who's 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. McCrossan has 9 points, all coming on 3-pointers. For Centralia, leading the way on the boards is Mo Wagner with 5 rebounds. So Mo is, to go with the 10 points, 5 rebounds, he's on his way to a double-double, and Mo has had the double-doubles already this year. So far this year, not only does he lead the team at rebounds at 7 a game, and has had double digits 6 times a game in rebounds, but he does have 3 double-doubles to go with his statistics this year, and right now having the 5 rebounds to go with the already 10 points, Mo is on pace to potentially get another double-double, his 3rd of the season. But the story, I thought, in the first half really was Miles Wagner coming out of seemingly nowhere to get 12 points on 6 of 6 shooting, and Centralia College leading the way. 14 rebounds as a team for Centralia, only 5 for Green River. Again, going into this game, I mentioned with Wade, I'm joined now by Kevin here. Jake. Kevin Jake. You can call me whatever you want. So, good rebounding team.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of at the bottom of the division for rebounding. So they play a very perimeter game, and I think that's one reason that Miles has had success. They're able to dump it down low to him, and we know, based on the lack of rebounds, that Green River is not really setting up down low. They're not in a good position to even guard Miles, and they're going to have to make an adjustment in the second half.
Well, even with Miles, it's his first year playing basketball, so he's finally coming into his own, I think, as a player, being able to handle being underneath the basket and making those easy shots. When early in the season, he was just getting into the groove of playing basketball.
Well, it's been an exciting first half of basketball. Centralia up by 5, and a great halftime as we were joined by the president of Centralia College, Dr. Jim Walton, for an interview, and that was honestly a pleasure for me to be able to talk with Dr. Walton. And now we're getting set for the half 2 of basketball. Hopefully this half as good as the first. What did I call you, Kevin?
Yeah.
I'll come up with another name for you too, I'm sure.
That's all right.
So here's Lockett. He'll bring the ball into front court for Centralia. Voss over to Miles, guarded very closely by Ploy. Gives it to Dam, fronted by Shack. Cross court to Lockett. Lockett a head fake. 11 to shoot it for Centralia. They're going to drain the clock down again. Lockett will dribble into the lane. Put an archer off the glass and in. Nice play by Lockett.
I think slowing the tempo down for Centralia is a really good move on their part, keeping it in their tempo, their game pace, and controlling their game instead of letting the team control them.
Decent crowd tonight, not a big crowd, but a decent crowd, as many as we even saw for South Puget Sound, surprisingly.
I think it's because they're not having such a great season. It's not bringing out as many fans as it was early in the season.
Here's Ploy, misses that as Miles was straight up and doing a good job on defense. 39-32. Lockett looking over for the play from Jason Moore, the head coach of the Blazers. Lockett looks toward Voss, now does go that direction, top of the key. Over in the corner they go to Dam. He'll roll toward the top. Now down low, bounce pass to Miles. Off the glass and in. That's actually Mo, I beg your pardon.
They're brothers, hard to tell them apart.
I'm not going to use that excuse. I mean, I'm calling you by the wrong name all the time, so.
I was just trying to help you out there.
Appreciate that. Here's Ploy. That pass was tipped, but Green River maintains control. Eilertson gives it to Willis. Here's Willis. He'll step back for the three-pointer. Long shot, no go. Brought in by Eilertson on the baseline. Back over to Lanier. And the basket is good. Timeout called. 30-second timeout called by Green River. Centralia with the 41-34 advantage, 18:07. We're just into the second half. And at this point, after a made shot like that, Green River is still, they haven't allowed Centralia to go on a huge run. The only thing that you think is the head coach saw something. He saw something he doesn't like. He wants to stop any potential run from happening here in the future.
Well, what I see is that you call them timeout as a three-pointing team like they are. You can go cold real fast. So if you got guys sinking shots, you don't want to call timeout and slow down the tempo or change, take a break when your guys are hot because 1 second they're hot, the next they're not. And the three-point game's your game. You can't try and slow that down.
Here's Voss to bring it in for Centralia. Trying to find somebody, does find Mo. That one goes to Miles. Let's see if he can pack this one. Instead, he gets it knocked out from behind. Last touch by, who was that? The touch last, it was Willis. And that was good. I would have loved to see him put that down with two hands. And Ploy goes into the lane and he's fouled. That one was on Wagner, Miles Wagner. First personal, first team here in the second half. Ploy, bounce pass, and that's knocked from behind by Mo. Out of bounds, Green River will have the ball again from underneath their own hoop. Green River moving from right to left there in the dark. Centralia in the yellow. Here's a nice play to Ploy. Great pass by Eilertson. This one up ahead to Lockett. He'll stop, doesn't have the numbers, give it back out to Dam. Dam, one dribble to the left, gives it back out top to Lockett, who will set it up for Centralia. Lockett getting the play.
One thing I've noticed with Centralia, they're playing smart basketball tonight too. Very consistent, very smart.
Dam to Voss, stops on a dime, back outside to Dam, three-point shot taken, misses. And looks like it came down on the foot of Shack. Stumbled backward. It's going to be a foul on 22, Ploy. Again, in that first half, Ploy the leading scorer for Green River. But in half number one, Ploy only had the 6 points. But he just didn't seem like really a factor, and he didn't seem like a playmaker. And
with Centralia's defense, they, maybe they're focused on shutting him down, knowing that he's the key go-to guy on their offense.
Green River and Centralia fighting for that basketball. It's Eilertson who comes up with it. Ploy into front court for the Green River Gators. Passes it down low. It's Voss who knocks it away, but Shack regains control. The Gators with the ball. Ploy. Up top to Shack. Gives it over to Eilertson. He'll roll toward the right to Ploy. Up top. Now here's Willis. He'll go into the lane. Give it off to Ploy. Ploy loses control, but right into the hands of Green River. Up top, and this one is grabbed by Miles. He'll go up, and he'll put it down. He goes to the rack and just flat tacks it. 44-36.
I know we were all waiting for him to do that earlier in the game when he had that, you know, under the basket all alone, and, you know, he finally threw it down. It's intense.
Kind of a scary moment there when you get Miles going into the stands and a woman holding what looks like maybe a couple-month-old child. Here's Willis. Willis slips. Will kick it back outside. Eilertson, the three-point shot off the back of the iron. And that one, Dam comes through and tries to strip it from behind. It goes off of Dam last, however, and Willis will throw it from underneath the hoop. Willis, of course, with the smack. You can't throw it in unless you smack it first. Here's Shack, a pretty little play, underhanded shot. Here's Lockett with the basketball. He'll go hard into front court. Now he'll set up the offense, slow it up for Centralia.
Again, keeping the rhythm and staying at a pace that, you know, their offense works at.
Centralia by 6, 15:47 to go in the game. Here's Voss. He'll drive into the baseline, kick it outside. Touch pass to Dam, right wing. Three-point shot just barely missed. Here's Miles. Kick it outside the Lockett. The three-point shot, left wing, off the back of the iron. Here's Miles again with an offensive board. He'll put it off the glass and in. Miles with his, I guess, 16th point of the game.
He's on fire tonight. That's for sure.
16 for Miles. Here's Willis, thinks about shooting, instead goes to Shack, touch pass, and it looks like that was Kevin McCrossan back into the game. McCrossan hit 3 3-pointers in the first half, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Their shooting beyond the arc has been unbelievable. They've hit so many and been so consistent all night.
Here's Dam. Stops, cross court to Voss. He'll go on the baseline, put up a little underhand scoop shot, makes it. Nice play by Voss, 48-38, Centralia by 10. We got a full timeout on the deck taken by Tim Malroy, the Gators head coach.
It seems like everything's going their way for Centralia tonight. They're playing hard and they're staying hot, and they're playing as a team tonight opposed to a bunch of individuals.
Well, both these teams part of the Northwest Athletic Association of Community Colleges. That's NWAC, NWAACC. If you go to NWAC.org, you can get all the schedules, stats, scores, stories, standings, and more. Those are all the S words that I can think of off the top of my head, and find out where the teams pit up against all the other teams in their division. Coming into this one, Green River 4-5 in the West, which means, well, Clark is 1 and Tacoma is at 2, followed by Lower Columbia and Pierce. Green River at 4-5, just under 500 in the division, but they're just right outside that top. The top 4 make it to the NWAC playoffs.
Right.
And Green River and Highline, both at 4-5, are on the cusp. So both of them have a shot at making the NWAC. Centralia at 2-7 really don't have a shot right now, and they're playing the spoiler. They're playing that role. They're also playing with a bunch of freshmen, and their hope out of a team of, 13 players, and they got 1 sophomore, they're hoping that this team made up of mostly of freshmen is gaining the experience that they need to be a formidable team next year.
And you just hope that those guys come back next year and continue to play as a team over the summer.
And how does that happen? It happens if they can have at least some success, a glimmer of hope. Here's Dam moving into front court. He'll slow it up, give it to Lockett. And if they can come down the stretch and they can spoil the hopes and dreams of some teams, they can show themselves that they can beat some of these teams like Green River.
And then compete for, the title next year.
17 on the shot clock. Here's Dam with the ball. He'll step back and slow it up for Centralia. Here's Lockett, will roll off of a screen. Bounce pass over to Voss, who loses control of the ball. It's going to be pushed up ahead to Emmanuel Carter, who will go in for the easy bucket. 48-40 Centralia. The lead cut to 8. 13:47 to go in the game. Here's an easy pass down low to Miles. Go up and shoot the ball.
He takes the foul.
He does not make the shot, but he does take the foul. And I think in that case, I think Miles could have gone up even stronger.
I think he's still trying to find his feet, being aggressive and, attacking the basket even though someone's in his face. And I think he's getting better and better as the season's gone on.
Here's the free throw. And it's no good. Like a lot of big guys, you don't ever expect a big guy to shoot well from the free throw line. Both Wagners do very well from the floor, both shooting at about 50%. But from the free throw line,
as Miles misses the second free throw,
only a 60% from the free throw line. And they're going to call that on Miles.
Which doesn't make sense as he was standing there for.
We got a timeout called by Jason Moore, the head coach of the Centralia Blazers, a 30-second timeout.
Salsa Magic. We are having a Salsa Magic night. Have you ever wanted to learn how to salsa dance?
I have.
If so, then this is your chance to explore the steps of salsa, hip hop, and top 40 dance, where you will learn the rhythm and feel of the dance. On Thursday, February 9th, from 7 to 9 p.m. on in Wickstrom Theater, we will be hosting Salsa Magic.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. 2 professional dancers will be here to teach you the basics and give you a lesson in salsa dancing. So that should be exciting. That's definitely a great experience that anyone at the college could attend, because dancing is always fun, especially as you get older and get married.
Yeah, but could you see one of the Wagners doing the salsa?
Big
Hi, I'm 6'7", but look at how I move.
Yeah, definitely got to be light on your feet.
Here's Carter, gives it off to Willis, off-ball foul. That's going to be committed by Ploy, as he looks like he shoved Voss. Pretty sure it was Ploy. Did they call that on? Did they call it on Carter? They called that one on Carter. His third. Here's Voss. Looking for someone open. He finds Dam. Touch pass over to Mo on the baseline. Wasn't thinking about shooting it, though. Dam falls to the ground. We'll skip it outside to Ploy. Now we have a loose ball picked up by Green River, but they don't have the numbers. Green River going out of bounds with that basketball. This is getting ugly now. Now we've got a real scrum. 4 players down on the ground.
It's like watching rugby.
And now once the officials haul them off, they'll see who got the fumble.
That was definitely an ugly 27.
That all started when it looked like Dam lost his footing up at the top, slipped or something, and went down.
Rolled it away.
It was a prayer. I mean, he threw it to hoping somebody was outside. Here's Carter. Push it outside to McCrossan. Misses the three-pointer. Pretty rebound by Mo. Up ahead they go to Voss. Voss on the baseline. Bangs into the defenders. Tries to pass it outside. Goes off the bottom of the backboard. Thought about going back out. Backboard in the way. That one off the hands of Ploy. Lockett with the ball. So Centralia has gifted the ball right back. Here's Lockett, gives it to Dam. Far point left side. He'll roll up toward the top. Guarded by Carter, but not very closely. 12:19 to go in the game. Here's Dam moving to the left. Gives it to Voss. He's guarded very closely by Eilertson. To Lockett, touch pass outside to Dam. Spots, three-point shot off the back of the rim. No good, but right back to Voss, who puts it off the glass and in.
When it comes to rebounds, Centralia just has the height over the Gators here tonight.
Blazers back to 10. Yeah, they do have that height advantage.
With Mo, Voss, and Miles all down at the bottom three, they're 6'4" to 6'7".
You know, Green River does have some height, but like I said, they're a perimeter type team. So even it's almost like Centralia has the space advantage.
That's true. That's a very good point too.
But yeah, Miles, 6'7". He's a man-child.
I wonder if they count his hair. You know, the fro on top.
7 foot. As long as that scene off of Fletch, he's 6 foot, but 6'11" with the afro. Here's the free throw, and that's no good. Hauled in by Mo. Lockett slowing it down for Centralia. Here's Voss, back out to Lockett. Trying to find Dam.
Centralia not really moving without the ball right now as an offense.
8 on the shot clock. Lockett goes into the lane, dumps it down. And was that Mo? Yes, it was. Mo with the basket. Mo had 10 points in the first half himself, so he's having quite the game. The Wagners both having a good game for Centralia as far as points
the big guys
are concerned.
The big guys getting done underneath with rebounds and scoring the points.
Ploy to Willis. Willis will drive into the lane. He'll scoop it. He'll make it, and the foul. 52-43. Centralia up by 9 with 10:52 in the game. And it looks like Arnis getting ready to check in for Centralia. Free throw is made. Arnis will come in, and Miles Wagner will come take a seat. Little size difference between the guy checking in for the other one.
And the good thing is, Wes is a good outside shooter, so if they're looking for a couple of threes, he's the guy to go to. He's been pretty hot throughout the whole season at making, clutch threes.
Here's Lockett and Carter, one-on-one. Carter to Dam. Dam bounce pass to Mo. Looks like he slips on the floor. Here's Arnis. Back to Dam, rolling around toward the top. From the right elbow, kicks it outside to Mo. Touch pass to Lockett. Stops on the free throw line. Back out to Dam, to Arnis from the baseline. He's going to have to make something happen. He's trapped. To Lockett, 1 on the shot clock. Lets loose. The three! Hits it from the right side. 3-ball, corner pocket. Oh, my goodness.
That was an incredible shot. He threw it up at the last second on the shot clock and just drains it. Like he's been doing that his whole life.
I'm guessing he has. Lockett is not the story of Miles Wagner. And we got officials saying play nice, guys. Not a good chance of that happening, right?
Not an interleague play.
Here's Carter. McCrossan thought he was going to let loose again. Carter goes one direction, then another, misses the shot. Centralia had the rebound easily, instead took it the tough way. Here's Lockett into the lane. We'll push it back outside to Arnis. He's guarded closely by Eilertson. Eilertson usually gives some pretty tough defense. He'll get right up on somebody.
You can see it in his eyes too. His eyes are huge. And he's guarding someone.
Arnis, touch pass outside to Voss off the back of the board, off the front of the iron, no good. There's Eilertson. Yeah, he does have those very intense eyes and exquisite hair, I'm not gonna lie. Here's Carter. Willis pushes off of Arnis. And Arnis is in the way, I guess, of the spin. That's my goal, is to make you laugh, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty easy.
Yeah, it's funny because it looks like he's got that '80s haircut from like the Breakfast Club.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, in case you missed us, we had at halftime Jim Walton president of Centralia College on, talking about some of the things that they've done over the last 10 years and some of the things maybe they hope to do coming up in the future. It was an enlightening conversation. I thought it was a good conversation with Dr. Walton.
Was it more like what they're going to do with sports or the school, or?
Yeah, it was school related. As Lockett goes in, but he's fouled by McCrossan. No, I beg your pardon. It was on Carter. But it was good. We appreciate him sitting down with us. We appreciate Channel 3 for allowing us to broadcast this game tonight. Shula comes in and Dam comes out. We'll see when the next one is on television. Here's Lockett. Guarded closely by Carter. Carter all over him.
Off the top of my head, I don't even know when the next home game is.
Arnis stops at the top of the arc. Back to Lockett. Side steps to Voss. Pass right. Arnis. Little dump pass down to Miles, who puts it off the glass. I thought he got hit. No blood, no foul. 55-44. 8:23 to go in the game. Centralia up by 11. And that ball goes Centralia away.
That's some good defense. You know, he was looking to, pass it off, and our defense just got in their face and hit it right back at him as it goes out of bounds.
Derek Eilertson comes out, and Justin Lanier, one of the starters, comes in. Eilertson and Lanier were teammates at Thomas Jefferson High. Here's Arnis. He'll roll away from Carter. Goes into front court. He's still trying to dribble his way out of it, and he's finally pushed by Carter. That's his third. That's the 5th team foul. So Arnis will toss it in across court. Puts it into Lockett. Full steam ahead. Now he'll slow it up as he's fronted by Willis. Gives it off to Voss. Long range jumper from the left wing. 57-44. Here's Carter. Lanier to Willis. He'll put it outside. Ploy. They kick it around to Carter. Ploy again with the ball at the top. Over to Carter. Baseline. Outside they go to Lanier. He'll stop, put it up, and he's fouled by Miles. Miles almost had it the first time without the foul.
Right.
He contested it. He had his hands up the first time, and then when he came down, I think he really was okay at first. You're as tall as him, and you got the wingspan he does, putting the hands up. You really got to arch it over.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to step back and shoot over. As I'm acting it out, as people could see me.
As if people could see you. Anthony Brescia comes in. Shaq comes back in. And who else do we got? We got Brant Graybeal, the 6'5", very lanky freshman out of Hazen. Here's Voss with the rebound. Centralia still by 12. 7:22 to go in the game. Here's Lockett. Lockett crossover on Shaq into the lane, puts it off the side of the iron. I think if he uses the backboard, he's a little more successful there.
As a basketball player, though, using the backboard is, frowned upon. It's not as cool to use the backboard.
And that time, that was just stolen by Green River. Here's Lanier, fronted by Shula, who's into the game for Centralia, to Willis to set it up for Green River. Now to Shaq, to Brescia. Shaq back to Willis. Green River does not run the clock down nearly like Centralia does. Here's Shaq over to Brescia on the right wing. Far point right side, left side rather. Now it's Willis underneath the hoop. He's blocked. Lockett with the basketball. He's double teamed, tries to dribble himself out of this. Good job by Lockett getting away from that. Might need to use some of his teammates a little more.
Lockett's a very good ball handler.
few players on the Centralia bench we haven't seen tonight. Haven't seen TJ McKinney, for example. Here's Arnis and Shaq, one-on-one. Arnis cross court to Voss on the baseline. He'll take a step, another mid-range jumper. No good, but Arnis comes through with the offensive board. Calling for it is Lockett. He will get the pass from Arnis. Little head fake, doesn't fake out Shaq.
They seem to have like 6 or 7 key guys that they use, and then they sub in a few others here and
Centralia
there.
just gave that away. And that time, Willis kind of went in hard, but out of control, and he was the benefactor of Centralia not having its spot planted. Centralia still by 12, 5:37 to go in the game. Here's the free throw shot, it's up and in. Jordan Dam getting ready to check in for Centralia. And it looks like back in for Green River, Derek Eilertson.
Jordan Dam, he was out for most of the season because of a broken foot, and I'm sure that they love having him back in the lineup to play every day and shoot those outside shots like he does.
Full timeout called by head coach Jason Moore. So you're up by 10. Jake, got it right. You're up by 10, John. Jake. I did it again. Hello, Jake. It's nice to meet you. I'm Brandon Chapman. You're up by 10 with 5:28 to go in the game. And what do you do at this point?
Well, I think you just keep telling your players to play your game. Keep taking time off the clock. Slowing down the tempo and play at the rhythm that they successfully play at. You don't want to go too fast, too slow, where they're not used to playing at and they don't succeed well in. And as far as Green River goes, you've got to push the tempo. You got to push the tempo more. Get some more rebounds. Make more shots.
Green River is really trying, I think, to force turnovers. You see the traps here and there, and they're working on Lockett, especially. I think Lockett likes to dribble his way out of things. He doesn't like to pass out of trouble. And I think they really need to make sure that Centralia, that they start passing out of their coverage like that. You can go around, you can dribble around people all fancy like for, an extended period of time. It's going to burn you eventually.
And they'll figure out your moves too. You only have so many different moves with the basketball.
So the players back out on the floor. You see Arnis right there getting ready to toss it in, and he will, into backcourt to Lockett, way back. Gonna waste some time. Here's Lockett, but now he's guarded by Justin Lanier. So maybe Green River's gonna lay off a little bit. Shula, he's guarded closely by Shaq. To Mo, touch pass to Lockett. Now Arnis, left elbow. Eilertson guarding him closely, so Arnis, one shot, 1 second on the shot clock, and they let it go. And that's just being unaware of the surroundings. That's being unaware of the shot clock.
Exactly, and
I thought Arnis had a shot there from the elbow.
And I didn't really hear the bench, letting the players know either, so that didn't help them out either.
Here Shaq rolls around Dam. He'll kick it back up to Eilertson. Eilertson, one of the top scorers for Green River, gives it off to Brescia. This one is missed, and Centralia with the rebound. You're going to call it travel on that. 2 players battling over, same, and that one instead looks like Arnis was going down. That's hard. You get tripped up over each other, and that's a hard one.
Well, you get caught in the heat of the moment, and you don't know who you're fighting with until you look over your shoulder.
Lapse in defense. Here's Arnis. Arnis into front court. Gators are defending very closely right now. Brescia on Dam. Looking for somebody open, finds Mo. At the top, he'll go in toward the basket, tries to underhand it. Man, I'll tell you, if I'm that tall, I go over the top.
I just think that's
Shack the easy bucket the other end, and now momentum is back to Green River side. 57-51. Centralia's lead has been cut down to 6. 4 minutes to go in the game. Here's Lockett, little bump from behind.
That's 6 unanswered points they've had.
Here's Shula, intends to go to Mo. It's batted out of bounds. Last touch by Green River, and Jason Moore trying to encourage the officials to call a foul on that. I see what he's saying, and everybody at home would have seen that too. You got a player dribbling the ball. You got another one really pushing from behind with their body. Damn, the three-point shot is off the back. Gathered in by Shack. He'll go in toward the perimeter. Now they'll push it around into the hands of Lanier. Lanier to Shack. And Miles getting ready to check back in. You see, be nice to see if he can regain his form. Here's Carter. Brescia. Off to Carter. 10 to shoot for Green River. Goes to Brescia on the baseline. Back to Graybeal. We got conflicting calls possibly. They're going to call a foul.
I thought he had all ball on that. That looked more like a jump ball to me from our angle at
least. 57-51. Centralia still by 6, and Miles getting ready to check in. 3:15 to go in this game. Centralia looking to win this contest after having lost the first one to Green River earlier in the season.
Well,
so
it's always
here's
nice.
Graybeal. Go ahead.
It's always nice to come back and get a victory after your first off season. Even though you're near the end of the season, you're not looking to make playoffs or anything like that. It's nice to come back and beat someone that's already beaten you.
Well, Miles comes in for Mo, and Chris Voss comes in for Dam. Jordan Dam. Here's Graybeal. The free throw off the back of the iron, and Miles an immediate presence with the rebound. Here's Lockett. Pass to Arnis. Back to Lockett. Here's Arnis with the ball. Guarded very closely by Carter. Over to Voss, loses control of the basketball, but he's able to get it. He's back into the backcourt. Here's Graybeal guarding him. Over to Lockett. A reverse lay-in. Misses it. Miles comes down with the basket. Puts it off the glass and in. Big bucket for Miles.
He was right under the basket. He just laid it in. Being 6'7", it's kind of easy to do that.
Loses control. Graybeal. Now here's Lanier to Brescia. Guarded by Voss. Back to Graybeal. He'll kick it outside to Carter. Drive into the lane. Stop. Outside to Brescia. Foot on the line. He'll hit the long-range jumper. 59-53 the score. And a full-court defense by Green River. They're trying tenaciously. And again, Lockett trying to dribble his way out of that. Centralia needs to send more players to help in that case. But Lockett, he's the benefactor of a foul, and a lucky foul that was for Centralia. I think they don't get the foul call. They have problems.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was about to dribble the ball anyway. He was losing the ball as he was fouled.
Here's inbound to Lockett. Back to Arnis. Bounce pass up top to Shula, to Voss. And this one intended for Miles, goes off of Miles and out of bounds. Timeout called by Jason Moyer, full timeout. We remind those watching this game, fans of Centralia College, that guess what? Students have an open mic night. That could be exciting.
That could be interesting.
Music, comedy, magic, and variety acts. You're a magic man. You like tricks.
Sure.
Pull quarters out of ears, stuff like that. Okay.
No.
That's coming up and a lot of other things, and I bring this up because I just wanted to highlight again our great conversation with Dr. Jim Walton, president of Centralia College, and all the good work that he's doing here at the college. Centralia College with a long history, and one of the things that we talked about was this gymnasium, how it was built in the mid-30s, how it was for the high school, Centralia High School, and eventually came to the college. And one of the things with this renovation that was done is they blended the new with the historic. And one of the nice things about the history were these rafters. And as he mentioned, you couldn't afford to replace these rafters with this kind of timber. So the value in this is tremendous.
And I think that's really cool when they redo something and they keep it historical and old as it when it was first built. I think that keeps it unique to the college, because most colleges just build a whole new arena.
59-53, Centralia by 6. Green River with the ball, however, 148. It'd be interesting to see what the game plan is for Green River. Do they go for the three? They are a perimeter team. That's a mid-range jumper, baseline pulled in by Lockett, and now he's getting hammered underneath the hoop. It's going to go down to the other end of the floor. That one's going to be on Brent Graybeal.
Into the 1-and-1.
Jason Moore, you can see right there on your screen, coaching. Miles Wagner on the art of defense. So it's a 1-and-1. That was a non-shooting foul, but now at the bonus. And a big free throw made by Lockett.
Get down to a minute 36 left in the game. Every point counts. Only having had a 6-point lead now of 7.
It's a 7-point disadvantage for Green River, maybe 8 coming up. And it'll be interesting to see how they play this, if they start fouling, if they go that route. And now it is an 8-point lead, so that forces Green River's hand a little bit. But let's see if their perimeter shooting starts coming into play, especially Eilertson. Here's another guy that likes a 3-point shot. Here's Ploy. They'll go into the lane. Off the glass and in. Well, don't count them out yet, because now they get the and one. And a whole slew of players getting ready to check in for Green River.
The key for Green River is to make most of their opportunities, like the opportunity now for a 3-point play. They need to capitalize on the Centralia mistake and the foul by making, cutting it down by one more with the 3-point play.
Well, some of the top shooters 3-point wise for this squad includes Devin Willis and Derek Eilertson, a 44% three-point shooter. As that ball, a foul, you see Shula taking one in the eye. I mean, get this though, Derek Eilertson, 44%, and it's not just like a 4, 5, 6 3-point shot attempts. He shot the ball 89 times, so he shoots from beyond the arc, 44% overall. They could have him shoot it. McCrossan tonight is a hot hand, only 31%. That 31% is still a pretty good number. But Devin Willis is at 41% for this team. A lot of good 3-point shooters.
And maybe that's why they're not as good down low, because they know their talent. They're using the talent to their advantage.
But after gaining the free throw, now they're only down by 4, so you don't need to be so hasty, I guess, to go for the 3-point shot. Especially if you can trap Centralia in the backcourt. Here's Shula to Arnis, tossing it getting it into front court. Shula looking for some help, gives it to Arnis.
They're trying to force turnovers, like you said earlier in the half.
Bounce pass down low to Miles. He gets the basket and is fouled. Big hoop for Miles. And again, the big man tacking on some more points.
And that's a huge advantage for Centralia right there. Another 3-point play opportunity. Even though it's Miles shooting and he may not be as good at free throws, it's still
suspect at the line, but
right.
He did get the bucket, and this is, as they say, it's a free throw. So, but no better time to get a bucket than right there. Now that lead up to 6. 58 2/10 on the clock. That free throw is off the mark. And we weren't betting the farm that he'd make it.
Right.
Here's Eilertson, the 3-point shot. We said he had a good one, and he drains it there on the left wing. 49 2/10 seconds. It's a 3-point game, 63-60, and a timeout called by Green River.
Right now in the game, every second counts, every point counts, and any mistakes can be the game changer, for either team.
So for Green River, They bury the 3. They're only behind by 3, still 49 2/10. And I think that they've shown some wisdom in not immediately starting the three-point shots earlier. They did try and go down low. They did attack. They did, I think, what they needed to do. They drew a foul. They went to the line. They haven't been drawing fouls, or they haven't been committing fouls against Centralia. They haven't been allowing them just to go to the line free. They haven't been playing out the clock, basically. Foul here, next foul, and just hoping that the team misses their free throws. They've been in it. They've been going for the victory in the way that they know that they can. And hey, Eilerton, that was a big shot by him. Derek Eilertson, and we'll see how they manage it out. Now they're only down by 3. Do they go for the 3? Do they try and tie it up, or do they go for the 2 and still know that they've got time on the clock?
I think it depends. I think the way their defense is playing and how they're pressuring that ball.
I think they go for 2.
I think they go for 2.
Go for the turnover. Whoa. Thought he was going to go all the way down the court.
And again, with 3-point lead, that's a dangerous pass. You throw it out of bounds, you give him a free ball. And I think it was a smart pass, just a little bounce pass to
Arnis just into front court, and a 30-second timeout called by Jason Moyer. I think he saw the whole lay of the land. Arnis was facing this direction. He was facing our cameras.
And double teamed.
He doesn't know at that point what's behind him.
Right.
And in this case, Jason Moore sees the whole field. I don't think he saw I think he saw what was going on, and he knew that they were in trouble, so he called the timeout, and they're going to.
Well, I think Greener notices that Centralia can be careless with their passes sometimes, and forcing that double team on the ball carrier is key to getting ahead in this game.
Yeah, and one thing Centralia needs to do is they're allowing double coverage on their players. Down to Voss. Oh my
That's
goodness!
a great pass.
That one was a gift. Lockett goes through. Lockett just barely off the fingers, I guess. It was out of bounds. Last touch by Centralia. That play down to Voss was an easy play for Centralia. Nobody covering, very astute pass. But what I was going to say was using the screen, so at least you're not allowing somebody off-ball screen to come over and double defend your guy with the ball.
Right, exactly.
Here's Ploy, loses control of the ball. Lockett gathers it in, and it looked like it was on Ploy, reached down, tried to grab. Oh, and he got a wet spot on the floor. Got lots of players slipping out there. And the rag.
Lockett, a good shooter, now going to the line for still 1-1. They're not in the double bonus yet.
Yeah, it was a non-shooting foul on the single bonus. Free throw shooter, 83% from the line. Only Wes Arnis is a better free throw shooter. Arnis at 91%. Well, I guess Dylan Fulmer is at 100%, but that's only 2 free throws. But with any substantial amount of free throw shots, Wes Arnis at 91%, Van Lockett second at 83, and this is a big free throw shot for him. Here's the shot up and in. That's huge because now those 2 possessions, it's a three-pointer for both possessions. If he hits this shot, it's a 3-possession game, making it very difficult on the Gators. He does hit it, and I think he seals it right there.
With 26 seconds left, they have to force 2 turnovers in seconds, which is hard to do.
Eilertson kicks it outside to McCross, and it's stolen by Shula. Centralia, Arnis is fouled. Is he fouled by Shaq? Indeed. And they're going to go the other way.
Centralia has to be proud of how they played tonight. Very competitive and very consistent throughout most of the game. Playing their game and doing it to the best of their ability.
So we got Miles missing the first shot. Well, Miles 3 games in double digits coming into this, make it 4. 13 on the clock. Missed shot by Willis, counted over for Green River. It's going to be a 3-point shot taken by Eilertson, and that one's blocked by Centralia. Another 3-point shot taken, and this one goes in right at the buzzer. I think they're going to call it 2. So 67-62 final. Centralia beats Green River, and holy smokes, that was an exciting one, going down all the way to the finish.
It was. It really was. Each team fought hard, but you have to give Centralia some credit. Even though Green River was forcing a double team and pressuring them really hard when they were on defense, they fought through it and they didn't turn the ball over, as much as they could.
Miles Wagner, he was less of a presence in the second half, I think, than in the first half. But you got to give him credit. He came out strong, and he had some big boards, had some nice plays down low. And I would have to give him player of the game. Without having seen the stat sheet, it just seemed like he helped set a tempo.
And the thing is, even when it came down to that the last couple of minutes, he got that he put down the layup and draw the foul. Huge for Centralia at that moment in time, needing a couple extra points to push them over the edge and give them a little bit more confidence.
Absolutely. Well, Centralia has some games coming up here tonight. Of course, beating Green River, both the men and the women. Then Centralia will be on Wednesday at Pierce, and then they'll be at Tacoma on Saturday. But then this Monday coming up, they'll be right back here, not tomorrow, or not 2 days from now, but the following Monday, they'll be right back here at the Wooden Palace on Walnut against Grace Harbor. And Grace Harbor is at the bottom of the division, so that's a good chance for Centralia to maybe start putting some wins together. We mentioned a young team. Getting those wins would be very important for them here in the end of the season.
Next year. Absolutely.
And coming back next year. And hopefully they do get players coming back next year. So leading all scorers, it's Miles Wagner with 18, and I think it's safe to 9 of 10 shooting, by the way. 0 for 5 from the stripe, but as we mentioned, that's not his best thing. And hey, you know what? Mo Wagner did a good job himself. 17 points for Mo Wagner, following up Van Lockett, who had struggled from the floor, only 4 of 11, but he hit all 6 of his free throws tonight.
And free throws are very important, for basketball games. They're free points, pretty much, as long as
And he hit him down the stretch.
Exactly.
Which was very important. The rebounds, what do you know? Mo with 10 rebounds. So we said that he had double digits already in points. He had 5 rebounds at half, and now he gets a double-double to go. So that's his 4th double-double of the year.
And it's very, being, from Texas like they are and coming up here, it's good for them to build that confidence here in the later season, having that desire to come back for next season.
Well, the top 2 scorers for Green River, again, were the top 2 tonight. Derek Eilertson was finished with 14 points, and he had 2 3-pointers. And then Chris Ploy with 12 points on 5 of 10 shooting. And overall for the game, Centralia shot the ball very, very well, 53% from the floor. 58% from the floor, and Green River 53% from the floor. So both teams shot well from the floor.
Right.
3-point land. Centralia not as good as Green River, but Centralia did significantly out-rebound, I think, Green River, 33-17. And Centralia did, just a better job off the boards and down low. They had a presence down low.
And I think that comes because Green River is a 3-point shooting team, and they're not going to have many guys down low because they're looking for that 3 points. Well,
this one came out to the advantage of Centralia. First time these teams met, we mentioned that the Green River won that one 54-40. This time it's a different story as Centralia takes a lead into halftime, and then they end up taking this one by a final score of 67-62. Well, a big thank you to everybody who took part in this broadcast. Bill Sholkoff, our producer engineer, Dave LeClaire, who's always so gracious and helps direct, Wade Fisher, who joined for the first half of both the men's and women's games. Whatever your name is that I keep messing up, Jake, I'm just kidding. Appreciate you joining me in the second half of both women's and men's. And I'm Brandon Chapman. So glad you could join us tonight. And thank you to Dr. Jim Walton for joining us at the halftime of the men's game. So long, everybody.